African passport holders rejoice! Ghana has now announced visa-free travel for all African passport holders starting 2025. This came in announcement when former President Nana Akufo-Addo announced visa-free travel for all African passport holders starting from 2025. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you some good and bad about this whole new visa experience. Ghana becomes the 5th African country after Seychelles, Gambia, Rwanda, and Benin to announce visa-free travel for all African passport holders. All you need to do to visit Ghana starting 2025 is your passport, yellow fever card, and your tickets. That's it. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about what this visa-free travel means for African passport holders and what it might bring in the world of travel and probably the cons that it brings. So stay tuned and let's get started. Now let's do a deep dive into this visa-free travel waiver Ghana has announced. Now initially, if you had an African passport, maybe you are part of the ECOWAS nations, all you need to visit Ghana is your ECOWAS passport. But with this new visa-free travel arrangement, anyone with an African passport can visit Ghana and then have a great time. You don't need a visa in your passport anymore. All you need is your passport and then your yellow fever card. Now with this new visa-free travel arrangement, there's going to be changes in travel procedures. Now the first thing that I'm proposing is going to happen with this new arrangement is that there's going to be stricter immigration procedures. Now, you realize that initially when you had to apply for visas and all that, you could just apply for visas and get a stamp in your passport. Now, with this new travel arrangement, it means that we are going to be screened more when you get to immigration desk. There's going to be a lot of questions asked and there's going to be a lot of, requirements for, African passport holders. So it means that there's going to be stricter immigration procedures when you enter into the shores of Ghana. African passport holders, take note of that. It's not going to be as easy as it was and you have to prepare for that. The next thing is, Kenya announced visa-free travel for all African countries, and then later on during the year they announced if you have to visit Kenya you have to apply for pre-electronic travel authorization. Now I'm thinking Ghana might go that same route. It might be a money-making scheme, however, to generate funds, taxes and all that. Now for Kenya's own, you have to apply for pre-electronic travel authorization before visiting the country. Now if you don't have this document and you visit the country, you might be asked to fill the form at immigration, and that can be stressful and that can be worrisome to travelers. So I'm thinking Ghana is going to go along that same route. It might happen that in a few months to come, Ghana might announce and say, okay guys, Ghana is visa free for African passport holders. However, you need to apply for pre-electronic travel authorization before you are allowed entry into the country. It might happen that Ghana might announce that travel arrangement sometime in the year or in the couple years to come. African passport holders, take note of that. This might be the new thing for probably African countries coming up. They might want to generate some income from travelers visiting the country, and a very smart way is to make traveling to the country visa free, however impose some little levies or taxes for movement. Now I believe this visa free travel thing, it's good and it all helps with this borderless Africa aim, and I think it's a good thing. Africans should be able to move freely between each other, trade, travel, friendship and all those good stuff. The next bit that I have to add to this is there'll be more documentation required from travelers. Okay, now initially when Ghana and South Africa agreed on a visa-free arrangement, you realize that when you get to the immigration in South Africa, you are asked questions like where are you staying, your proof of accommodation, your proof of return, maybe bank statements, yellow fever card, travel insurance. Now these are some of the things that Ghana might begin to require from travelers when you visit the country, when you get immigration. So it might be visa free, all right. However, immigration is going to ask you questions on where we are staying, how long we are staying, and if you decide to return to your country after your stay. So this visa free thing is good. However, I think there are strings attached and nothing free comes easily. If you decide to come to Ghana probably in a few months to come, they might announce travel requirements like this. So maybe they're going to keep enforcing yellow fever card rules. They're going to enforce travel insurance. They're going to enforce return tickets and then proof of accommodation, because they want to ensure that you're coming to the country and you're going back to where you came from. So these are some of the things that are going to come into this new visa-free travel arrangement in the course of the year and the years that to come, because Kenya started that and it's happening. Zanzibar recently announced mandatory travel insurance for all travelers. Similarly to Ghana's case, new travel requirements might be announced in the course of the year, so prepare for this if it happens. Now another thing that might come into play is this whole safety issues. I'm sure countries impose visa restrictions on neighboring countries because maybe due to safety, due to trade. This new visa-free arrangement is going to bring some safety issues. Now, safety issues because probably might be avoiding certain nationals from visiting this country. But now that it's visa-free, anybody from, let's say, Mauritania, Algeria, Libya, whatever country in Africa can just decide to visit Ghana for whatever reasons. I'm in 100% full support for this thing. However, every good thing, comes with a bad side. So probably get to know this. And I think it's part of the broader goal to, improve upon, ease of movement within the continent. And so I think every African country should adopt this visa-free thing. It's going to make traveling within Africa easy. In fact, traveling within the borders of Africa can be stressful, and trying to kind of take that into the past. And so, this new visa-free thing is going to help a borderless Africa. And I think that is something that all African countries should begin to implement in their immigration or travel procedures. I still feel other African countries can also adopt this method, and having the ease of travel, visiting neighboring African countries, it just helps. Just like you have a Schengen visa, I could visit any of the Schengen states without having to go through any immigration procedures. And it makes sense and it helps a lot. What are your thoughts about this new visa-free travel Ghana has announced? Let me hear from you.